So can I clap?
Yes, please.
So Sandman is about a lonely, alienated young man called Nandre, who is trying to find what's missing in his life, which is connections. And he goes to an expo to sort of try problem solve that very empty feeling in his heart, and he ends up having to find deeper answers to why he's where he's at. What inspired the story was really the age-old idea of like what happens when you approach people and you hang out with them and you're with them and you're enjoying yourself, but there's still a gap. And when you leave them, that gap just becomes bigger. And so it's the idea that connection is the opposite of that. Isn't exactly isolation. It's something else. It's something deeper.
I think my favorite aspect of the film is that it's experimental, but not in a way that's unapproachable. I think it is a very approachable experimental film. People aren't going to walk away more confused than when they started watching it. They're going to walk away feeling something. And I think in that way, it's going to open up a discussion about the topic of loneliness. And
it's good to speak about something that is very often looked past or frowned upon.
People need to become aware of the effects that this topic of loneliness has on people, because the effects are detrimental and it leads to suicide, drug usage, alcohol abuse, and those are serious topics in our society that need to be tackled now.
It explores the idea that the solutions to loneliness may be the engines that drive it.
It deals with an issue that we've all been through. I mean, we've all felt loneliness, and it's something that we can all relate to.
It's a very moving film, very powerful in terms of the pacing of it, the sound.
I think people should come watch the film because it is interesting. It is something people are afraid to talk about and need to talk about.
Everyone has been feeling lonely once in their life, even though it's a second or a minute or an hour or like a decade. Everyone has had a sense of loneliness.
I think they'll be able to empathize with the main character, Ray.
As a person that went through it, they're not that they can be in a space full of people and you might think that they're happy, but they're just there just to show face.
I like the playground scene a lot, and it's really touching because that's what Ray experienced in the story. So that's how I feel like that scene is very powerful in the film.
You can come check the film out at
the After Experimental Festival
in June on the 15th and 16th.
That's 41 Frost Street in Auckland Park.
Be there, be square.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
People can follow the behind the scene antics and meet the crew
on Instagram and Facebook
at Concrete Bench Productions.
No underscores, no funny what's, just Concrete Bench.
Please, guys, support. Check out Concrete Bench Production, Instagram, away.